Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back from watching the DC Fandome. I don't remember if I did a review or at least had the setup at the time to do a review about no, I didn't. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. No, I did not do any kind of review of the DC Fandom of 2020. I don't think I had things set up properly to do any on-camera stuff. I was still on the fence at that time about doing it. But yeah, just wrapped it up, and you know, it's been a great overall event. Of course, they had to begin. I'm pretty sure The Rock had something to do with it. They started off with Black Adam, because The Rock had a headline. Not that I'm hating on it, because The Rock is amazing at his craft. He's like grown, since like the Scorpion King, definitely in The Mummy Returns, which I did a review of. It's on the channel if you want to check out my thoughts on the movie for the Halloween monthly movie event I'm doing. But yeah, we get to see a sneak peek of Black Adam. Of course, he's like all hooded up and everything like that. So far, the what glimpse that we have of the costume looks phenomenal, and of course, it looks like somebody's breaking into. Don't think it's the Rock of the Eternity, but some other place connected to the Wizard, and some look like some kind of tactical team is like breaking in, and then like accidentally release Black Adam, and like he just grabs one of them and just calls out lightning and just like electrocute them to none but a skeleton, which is like awesome. I'm pretty sure there's like a Black Adam comic book that at some point I want to do like a matter of fact, not even just with Black Adam, but with Shazam, and of course, Shazam's movie's not coming out until 2023. Uh, but I want to do something with like the Black Adam and Shazam for comic book reviews at some point. But as far as seeing with that looked amazing. We get to finally see a little bit more with Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game. And between the two, I think like Gotham. Matter of fact, I think it's kind of like a reverse of what we saw last time, last year, where I think last year, as I recall, I think it seems like we got a little bit more with the Suicide Squad game. Not that we didn't get, we definitely got some more stuff in this time around, but I think personally, I think I got a little bit more with Gotham Knights because you thought it's just them like doing the whole, because it's definitely connected to like both of them, definitely connected because it was kind of touch and go whether or not uh is it connected to like the Arkham series. It kind of confirmed it. Like, yeah, these are connected to the Arkham series. Well, no, yeah, yeah, because I'm questioning the Suicide Squad thing. No, they definitely are connected, and more so with Gotham Knights because Gotham Knights are from like the little gameplay that we saw a year ago, where you thought it'd just be like Arkham Knight, where like all the Bat family is just like picking up the slack where Bruce left off, and they just gonna be dealing with Mister Freeze and the Penguin and everything like that. But no, it's a little bit more deeper story this time, where we actually get like the Court of Owls, and you hear like Penguin just talking with Nightwing, and uh, it's like a more like. In matter of fact, the Penguin is showing up a lot. Not even like Matt Reeves Batman in both Gotham games, or at least DC games. Like the Penguin's getting a little bit more prominent lately. It's getting a little more FaceTime. Uh, it's like a funny little moment in like a Suicide Squad game, but yeah, the Court of Owls. He's telling Nightwing, since Batman is gone, and in case you don't know what Court of Owls are, the Court of Owls was you know was created during the New 52 era. Probably like the one of the few things the New 52 really like created that really stuck. They became like a cool uh part of the Batman's Rose Gallery, because like this whole, it's kind of like when like the Scorpion versus Spider-Man, because like the Scorpion is like the spider is kind of like Predator, and like the owl is definitely like the bat's predator. And like the Court of Owls is like, it's just like a dangerous kind of like a, Gotham's secret elite Illuminati type of, villains that, have these elite squad, kind of like not zombified, but like mind control type of uh created, you know, clonish like, people, or brainwashed, slash cloning type of individuals that they, you know, got from like a tender young age and birthed into these elite squad of talons. That's what they call them, the talents, and they just like, just like an assassin squad that goes and takes out any kind of adversary that's a threat to the organization, or if they're endangering of revealing their secret organization, they immediately wipe them out. And they've always been like there since Gotham's, the Gotham City's creation, and they, since Batman's, first year of on the job and up until the present, they always been like keeping like a mindful eye, but watching from afar. But every once in a while, Batman has come across them. But in this game, they've been in hiding, and since after the Arkham Knight, Batman, his identity was revealed thanks to the Scarecrow during the events of the Arkham Knight, and now he's like in the ether, which you can watch my walkthrough of Batman Arkham Knight that I did a couple of years ago on my channel. I did all the Batman Arkham games, so you can watch them all on my channel. Uh, Now, like, the Penguin's telling Nightwing, like, now that the Batman's gone, the Court of Owls is a little bit more brazen, or at least coming out of the shadows now, and there's been like a vacuum. He's locked up all like the, all the like the Riddler, the Joker's dead, Harley's, gone off the Suicide Squad stuff, all the other, like Poison Ivy in this iteration of the game. Poison Ivy's dead since the events of Arkham Knight, you know, uh, and most of the rogues are locked up for good. So it's like, you think it's gonna be like complete peace in Gotham City for the first time in a long while, but now the Court of Owls are rising up and like, taking that, just filling that power vacuum now. And like all the, like, Tim Drake, Nightwing, Batgirl, Damian Wayne, I think, and is Damian Wayne in there? I don't know. Damian Wayne's not in there. It's like Red Hood, Tim Drake, Nightwing, and Batgirl are filling the role of Batman pretty much to like just keep everything, you know, secure and like still watching. But now they got to deal with the Court of Owls. And the Suicide Squad game, you get to see a little bit more with what's going on with, like, because you get to see like the woman. If you watch my walkthrough of the Star Wars, the last Star Wars game, the what's that? Oh God, what's the name of that freaking game? I keep wanting to say the Last Jedi, but that's not it. Was it the Last Jedi? Yeah. Let me just double check. Fallen Order. That was it. Jesus. Anyway, yeah. the Jedi who recruited the kid in the game, she's playing Amanda Waller in this. And like I said, you get to see Penguin again, and they are trying to capture Penguin, I guess, for like some information, and like they put like a thing on him, and like radioing Amanda Wall, like Penguin's like phone the coop, the Penguin's phone the coop, like, and then she tased him remotely, and like he's still going, like I guess he still have eyes on anything. She does have the audio, and it's like he's still running, and he's like already out, and he keeps tasing him just out of fun because they're just assholes. But yeah, not like dealing with like Brainiac is like invading, he's mind controlling the Justice League, and like Amanda Waller just I don't know if she just sees like an opportunity just to take out the Justice League so she can just circumvent like and become like the one controlling the metas in order to you know put in peace and justice in her own way, uh where she can just control metas and stuff, uh instead of just trying to, because obviously they Justice League being mind controlled, uh in some fashion, and you see it to see a bit of the Flash in this, and you see them trying to like take on like Superman, and I don't know if there was like a kind of thing on Flash's chest. I could have sworn it's like a brief thing. I want to rewatch that a little bit later, but it seems like some kind of device on him where you can tell that he's being like controlled, or at least kind of bring out like, because you hear the Flash talking, the way he's talking is like like his like more fiendish side of him or dark side of him, just doing all the talking, like you think you can be heroes, like you're a joke kind of situation, like something that you wouldn't hear Barry say, or at least maybe his darker part of his brain is being pulled up to the front kind of situation, but it's obviously being controlled. And instead of, I'm pretty sure they will just, instead of killing them, obviously the game will be just getting them liberated from the control of Brainiac. So it's like I'm looking forward to those games. That's part of my two most anticipated games. I'm pretty sure it's coming out. They're coming out next year. Of course, you get to see something from like Shazam. No trailer, but you just see like doing like behind the scenes camera work. Matt Reeves' Batman looks phenomenal. They ended the show. They had to end the show, just as way as hyped as they started with Black Adam. And you get to see a little bit more with Robert Pattinson's Batman, and like the cool, awesome scene where he just walking his hallway, and like gunmen's trying to like fire, and they firing on his chest, and he's just like walking like a straight up tank and just like eating those bullets and just beating ass, and it's just awesome. You get to see like Patty Jenkins and like Linda Carter just talking about Wonder Woman celebrating her 80th anniversary, because like she's been like she's one of the pillars of the DC comics. So she is one of the big three that began what DC Comics is today. Of course, you get to see some stuff from like the CW TV shows, like the Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, because they're on their sixth and final season. And and you get to see a bit of like Grant Gustin's The Flash, who's like excited for the next season because they finally get to like, because I didn't even notice really that he didn't have like his iconic yellow boots, and he always wanted a complete Flash look as he is in the comics, and like never noticed really that he never had like those yellow boots, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's all the other stuff that's going around, that's the one thing that's not really something I picked up on. And I kind of like fell off with the CW TV shows after the last crisis, because after the crisis, which you know was probably the last time I actually fully enjoyed uh the CW stuff, but I just kind of it's all just waned at that point, and I think I'm just maybe that the Flash is probably the only thing I'm just really like latching onto. Like I fell off of Supergirl, and it's just like the CW, really like are like I don't know what's up with the writers. Maybe they're just tired or just got too much on their plate, and so they half assing it or just spread thin. I'm not sure, but it's just showing in their work because like they backpedal on certain tropes and storylines and you know things like, oh, you keeping a secret just to protect a friend, even though that's a tired trope that CW always falls back on. Not even just with the DC shows, but with all their shows, they do that. Even with the best of the shows they have, they still fall on it, and it's just like it's just one of the examples. And I'm just like, God. And the last episode of the Flash of the previous season, where it's like they bringing in like Reverse Flash to team up with Barry to fight. Spoiler alert! Fight Godspeed, which is one of my favorite new DC villains that came up in the comics a few years ago in Rebirth, uh, and they do this. They using this like first of all, Godspeed, utilizing his lightning into some kind of, faux uh, lightsaber lightning thing, and then all of a sudden, Flash and Reverse Flash are just doing the exact same thing. Like, where did you learn that at all to even like you see him do it so automatically you can think you can do it? That's the kind of writing is just like it's weird. It's like at one point, do you think you can actually do that? Just because I see somebody dribbling in like an expert manner, I don't immediately just do that just like in that kind of same expert manner. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, Flash just in the end, like, I'm the fastest now. It's like, it's a whole thing. And it's like I said, it's like, I haven't watched Batwoman. It's like, I'm not a huge Batwoman fan. I respect the character, but I'm just like, it's just like, I'm done with the CW writing. It's already, a lot of people, not even just me, a lot of people are in like the same mindset as this. Like, it's too much stuff already to watch, and just something has to fall back to the wayside. And the CW is the weakest link in my opinion. I'm sorry. I know, like, I love the actors. The actors are, by and large, that did like a great, job of what they working with. But then they even like bring, because I didn't even notice. I don't think anybody even realized it's the 20th anniversary of Smallville, and they brought in like Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, which are like, Smallville was the foundation. It was the trailblazer to what we have right now, as far as not even the DC TV shows, but a lot of shows in general, because they sparked something. Just like with like the Spider-Man Sam Raimi films kind of sparked something with Marvel, what it is today. Smallville did it for what DC is now. And like they definitely deserve all the respect. Despite like, yeah, I even got the box set of like entirety of Smallville. I got a Christmas present from my brother a long time ago, and like I still treasure it. It's like one of my, I think it's the only and the first and only box set I ever gotten, and and like I'm holding on to that. I treasure it as part of like my favorite part of my favorite DVD collections that I cherished. But like I'm surprised Tom Welling came in here, because like he always wanted to do other stuff, and like the last time we saw him was in The Crisis. He wasn't reprised. I mean, he's reprising himself as Clark. He wasn't doing any kind of superhero stuff. But it's just great to see him, because it's like he encapsulates. Like all respect to Tyler Hoechlin, but like Tom Welling really encapsulated TV Clark Kent in a big way. He was like became at this point he was like nostalgia now. He's on that same level as like uh uh Kevin Conroy at this point, as far as like icons of the DC pantheon. Uh, I the only on a side note here, like I know with the whole COVID situation, so by and large people had to do video Zoom. Uh, I know like mostly because some people are still on set and everything like that. Hopefully, if they continue this DC fandom thing each year, I kind of hope and feel like maybe next year you get a lot more people in like a studio kind of situation where you get to see more into like a more personal, like intimate setting, and you get it's a little more now than it was last year, because COVID was still rampant, but now like with the vaccine and everything like that, and like things are like there's no more lockdown or everything like that, so people are like a little more a little more comfortable being around each other. But hopefully by next year, if this whole fandom is still like a yearly thing now, you get to see like more people like on a couch together, and just to see that you know, none of that 6 feet apart. Even though it's important now, by next year, hopefully more people be vaccinated and everything like that. We can actually see people like more intimate, like more together, and just you know, just just to see all that together. It's fun. You get to see a little more behind the scenes with like Aquaman. Just to see Jason Momoa's little stealth suit that was posted a couple of weeks ago. Jason Momoa is awesome. Like the perfect casting as far as like like Aquaman is concerned. Uh, what else from like the fandom? Oh man, I kind of hope like Marvel kind of does their own fandom. That's what I want to see. Like, Marvel should do like a fandom themselves. Or maybe like if DC does like the fall period fandom event, Marvel should do like a spring fandom event. Something that we can look forward to each year, like at the beginning of the year and another at the end of the year, and just become a whole thing. That should be a thing. I know DC's kind of like started, but Marvel should do a thing at the beginning of the year. They're doing like a fandom for their events and for like all the TV shows and movies and games, and DC by the end of the year do their thing. Oh, speaking of Aquaman, they after you talk about the movie, they showed this. This is probably the one thing like I really like kind of cringed on. I don't know about all y'all, but that little cartoonish TV show with Aquaman and everything like that they showed after the like the behind the scenes of the film. God, can we do away with that Steven Universe crappy animation? It hurts my eyes looking at that. I do not like that at all. It's not against Steven Universe, but just because it's just like with like the way after the Dark Knight trilogy with Christopher Nolan, everybody wanted to do the exact same thing because that became popular. Now everybody wants to copy that. Just because I don't watch Steven Universe. It's not my cup of tea, and I'm not interested. But just because that became popular of a show, everybody wants to copy that freaking art style. Maybe it's because the same people behind that are doing other stuff too. But it's like, do some other kind of different animation. It's like, I'll probably say the same thing if just because Spider-Verse, because that's a very unique animation style, became popular. I don't expect every animated movie moving forward should do the exact same thing, because that is like a unique thing to that, and not everything is gonna match that, because it will feel jarring or off, and it's gonna be annoying to a lot of people after a while, because like I don't care to see that every time. It looked ugly to me. I didn't care, It's like skip, like a major skip on that one. What else? Uh, you get to see a lot of cool people's like cosplay and like different art. You get to see Jim Lee. Oh, you get to see like Milestone writers. You know, the founders of Milestone Comics. Showcasing about like talking about like Static Shock's TV show and movie. Which no, speaking on it, I was gonna go for this Halloween at Static Shock because next week I'll finally get my hair done. It looks crappy now, but it'll be like done up. You know, by the next weekend you'll see uh the new like done up hair. Uh, and I'm gonna do like a whole Cruella thing going on. Not it's gonna be my costume, but it's something I love that movie. I just want to do it, try it. Uh, I'm just bummed out because like I really want to do Static Shock, and I tried to order the costume, and because it wasn't directly from Amazon, it was from this third party retailer in China who can't seem to like I don't know if it's because of the mailing system, what's going on with that currently, but by the time I would have gotten that costume, be well into November, and it's like it's too late for that. I wanted it before Halloween, and it was like I ordered it beginning of October, so I should have expected within like a couple weeks at the most, or at least before Halloween comes around. But no, and so I had to like cancel the entire thing and just decided to let's go with my Devil May Cry Dante costume that I had a couple of years ago. I still haven't. I set it aside because it still looks good, and I love that. And I still love the trench coat and everything like that. I would pull it down, but I got other stuff on top of it. I don't want to thing. I'll just leave it as like a little surprise. I'll post it on my Twitter. Which, by the way, if you're watching this, follow me on my various channels: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon. All name Talkative Carl. Yeah. Uh, uh, Shoot. What else from the fandom? I'm looking forward to the Static Shock stuff. And like I said, I'm just bummed out because I really want to go with Static Shock this year. Uh, Maybe next year. Uh, yeah, because next year I wanted to do like Naruto, but maybe I'll just like save that for another time. I don't know. Because you know, now that I'm older, I can afford to splurge on a little better looking costumes, but it's kind of throwing my plans out of whack. It's kind of bumming me out. Uh, uh, I might still do Naruto. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm indecisive kind of a person, so I might have to just do Static Shock next year for Halloween. But then by that time, like Static Shock will be in like, because I want to be unique today. Because you know how like something becomes popular one year by Halloween, everybody's doing it, and I don't want to just be running into everybody's doing the exact same thing and run into 5 different Static Shocks next year. That's the thing, because it's probably the only time I probably feel a little bit irked, like any woman who see another woman dressed as her. Not the stereotype or anything like that, but it's just like they give it this kind of death stare, like oh god, kind of situation. I'll feel annoyed because like I wanted to a little stand out just a little bit. But anyway, what's next? On the fandom, it's like trying to recall everything that I saw that really stood out for me. You get to see Jim Lee, and like we get to see all these different people submitting their like all the best artworks that they chose from, and costumes that people did like amazing art. Dang. And then you get to see like a lot of more like Superman stuff, of course. You can see Tyler Hoechlin, talking about, like Superman and Lois. They, the woman who's cast as Lois Lane, she get the show off the camp farm and everything like that. There's no upstairs. It's like the stairs cut off at a certain point, but they get to show around like the room and everything like that, like other parts of the lower deck household. Which is all right. At some point, well, that and Doom Patrol. I know currently, season 3 of Doom Patrol is going on right now. I, I might not do like a review of that, uh, but I definitely want to see like I said some time to watch all that because it's on. I think recently episode 6 came out, so like at some point I need to like bench watch, but I got other stuff that I need to like concentrate on for the time being. Uh, what else? You get to see certain like different like artwork on and like certain animation that's going on currently in post production, or at least current production of the Harley Quinn show. Uh, that hasn't finished yet, but you get to see some of that. Some of that. Cannot wait for the new Harley Quinn season. I definitely want to do like a season review of the Harley Quinn show at some point. That show is just phenomenal. Uh, so funny. I think the Bane character is just probably like the highlight for me. I think it's a highlight for everybody. That Bane voice gets me every time. It's so dang funny. Kite Man is all right, but I think he really like stood out for me by the end of the last season. Uh, uh, what else? Uh, I know I'm blanking on other stuff. Of course, they talking about like some of the comics and everything like that. Uh, shoot. Yeah, I mean, like that's by and large what I can remember that really kind of like jumped out. That really stood out, and with like the cartoonist Aquaman show, and then the CW stuff. They really like. It's like those are probably the ones like I did not care, not care for, but I just don't care to even watch because like the CW kind of lost me, and the Aquaman little cartoonist TV shows like look ugly. Uh, the Titans, they show a little bit of the Titans show, and like the first season of Titans was I'm sorry, it was hard garbage to me. Uh, I know some people might like it. Things kind of like you know kind of like charming trashy shows. Everyone has a charming trashy show that they. It's kind of like the way like I feel about like Christmas Hallmark movies. There's certain charm to them, even though I know they're kind of goofy and stupid. But it's something about them that's gonna have like some kind of charm to it that I keep coming back to almost every year. Not like I watched them all, but there's a certain select few that kind of stood out as far as like the best of the worst kind of stuff, or even like just like I've one or two that might be even like a better quality. But matter of fact, next month leading into December, I will be doing like I don't think it's like not many people even do this, but I want to do like movie reviews for like each year doing like a movie reviews of like in October like a lot of Halloween theme, but November into December definitely some Christmas Hallmark type of movie reviews and other iconic Christmas movie reviews like a Home Alone and Jingle All the Way. Which, by the way, in case you have not seen, the trailer for this not reboot but like sequelish reboot of Home Alone that came out that's supposed to be coming on Disney Plus next month. I think November 12th. I'm just curious enough, even though I think it's gonna be hot garbage. I think curious just enough for me to watch it and do a review for that. Uh, and just to give my overall opinions, because the first two Home Alone films are iconic. The third one I definitely watched, which at that time when like Scarlett Johansson was like a teenager at the time. Can you believe that? Uh, and I think there's like a slight charm to it. Uh, but that's when you see like the dip and like and then they start like doing at least two more spin-offs after that, which was definitely hot garbage. Then they left it alone, and this is one of those kind of movies that you should like just leave in like a store like a like a sealed in carbonite as like untouched films that are perfect the way they are. You cannot touch, you cannot reboot it, you cannot sequel it, because it will just not live up to expectation. It's just lightning in a bottle kind of stuff. It's like like the Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and Home Alone are just to name a few of stuff that you won't touch. It's kind of lightning in a bottle stuff that probably on paper should not even worked, but managed to pull off in a right time frame in history that you obviously cannot recreate or even try to duplicate or vitalize, because it's going to be people who's going to hate it, and you're probably going to suck at it no matter how hard you probably try. And I'm curious to see how like that rebootish Ghostbusters film is going to work out next month. And since I think it looks better well handed than the Melissa McCarthy version that happened in 2016. Uh, but it's still probably not going to live up to anything. But it'll probably be a little bit better than the Melissa McCarthy version. But we'll see. But anyway, the DC fandom. So far, I think that's the. I think that's pretty much all that I had to say on that personally. Uh, all that stuff that stood out. Yeah. I'm digging it. It's like a great year. I cannot wait for next year. Matt Reeves Batman finally get a release date in March next year. I cannot wait. I'm like psyched to see that. I might, just like with Spider-Man 3, that I might like be the first time I actually go on a Friday to go see it. I'm going to do that for Matt Reeves Batman. That was my most anticipated one. Oh, The Flash. Like I didn't want to end the video without thinking about that, because like you get to see shoot. Crap. That's his kid's name. I'm blanking on it already. I keep wanting to say Grant Gustin, but crap. Let me go look it up once again. Ezra Miller. I keep wanting to say Tim Miller. Ezra Miller, which he showed up, and for a second I thought he was like, he kind of looked like Tim Burton, young Tim Burton a little bit with the hair. Last year it was just funny because everybody was kind of clowning him, including me, because he showed up with blue lips on his. It's like, where is he? And why is his lips are blue, like he was eating, like some kind of bluish candy or something. He didn't wipe his mouth. It's like, or he was in like a cold place and his lips turned blue, like he's just now thawing out. I was like, what's up with him? But now he's showing up looking like Tim Burton a little bit for some reason, like young Tim Burton with his hair is like, it's all weird looking. Not weird, but it's kind of like, I don't know, he looked like a young Tim Burton. But he showed off a little bit of the trailer for the Flashpoint movie, which is looking phenomenal, and his costume looks just like what's going on with Barry Allen's costume in the past couple of year or two. Looks amazing. With like neon lightning kind of stripes going on along his costume. And you get to see hear the narration of Michael Keaton. Mess like, oh, you have the ability to go to any universe or go anywhere, but you choose to stay here and help. Why? Something like that. But then you get to see like the iconic Tim Burton Batman cave and Wayne Manor, and you get to see a snippet of not in the face but behind of the iconic uh, uh, '89 Batman costume, and it's just oh my god, I'm so hyped for that. I think I got more hype for this than I because I did not like the animated Flashpoint movie like everybody else. Like because I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. It was like I don't like dark crap, in certain animated films, especially some with more like just like because like I love these characters and I know it's kind of like out of continuity or whatever, but just something about it just like throws me off. Like I really don't care about like watching like just throwing my heroes into the meat grinder. Just like I did not like Apocalypse War, where it's just like oh like we're gonna be done with this universe. We're gonna start like a whole brand new DC anime movie uh franchise moving forward. So like in the last thing, let's just throw like just murder everybody, like almost everybody, or torture them, or turn them into cybernetic monsters or something like that. And it's like, holy shit, you didn't have to go through that much of that, but whatever. Uh, but yeah, I'm psyched for the Flashpoint live movie because I'm pretty sure they might just like in like the last CW crossover where you see Ezra Miller for a brief cameo meeting Grant Gustin's Flash when they both are probably like going through like because Flash is trying to travel through the Speed Force, and Ezra Miller's Flash probably doing the exact same thing during the movies, and like they're intercepting at the exact same time doing their own little adventures, and they meet each other. And I kind of hope that doing like just like in the CWs, we don't know like or what's like Ezra Miller's Flash doing to in a way that's causing him to going through the Speed Force and just meaning the TV show universe version of himself, where uh and I figure like it's kind of will run parallel once we finally get to see that in like the Flashpoint movie, where you get to see a cameo from Grant Gustin in this exact same point, and it's like converging. And I kind of hope they do that just to see, like, just like a brief moment of like maybe as like either beginning of the film when like Ezra Miller's passing through and about to go into '89 Batman universe, meeting up with Grant Gustin for a brief minute, or towards the tail end when he's like trying to go through the Speed Force and rebooting the movie timeline a bit. Uh, but at some point we'll see like hopefully Grant Gustin doing like a brief cameo. Uh, so yeah, that's I'm excited for too. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the DC fandom like so far. I mean, like I might be oh Naomi, like I get to see a brief moment of Naomi, and it brings me to thinking because after watching like the milestone stuff, and then you see Naomi. I know that she's gonna have like a TV show. I'm not sure it's gonna be on the CW or the HBO Max directly. I like to think it's gonna be on the HBO Max directly, which should get me more hopeful and curious about watching it. Because if it was on the CW, I probably wouldn't care. Because CW writers, are just, I know, the Lois and Superman show is doing gangbusters for the first season, but trust and believe that's going to be a dip in quality at some point. I'm pretty sure halfway through the second season, so I'm not holding my breath. Uh, Maybe with they lighten the load a bit once Supergirl's done, and hopefully when like Legends of Tomorrow, because I haven't watched Legends of Tomorrow since like the first season, because that is the probably the worst of the worst, and I just like and once like because I'm pretty sure Flash probably got 1 or 2 seasons left in it, if that. And maybe once they start lightening that load a bit, maybe otherwise writers will have enough time and energy to pour into just making sure Lois and Superman is probably like the only thing left, so they can put that energy into it, and the writing quality will be like like good and stay at a constant good. Uh, but yeah, I figured by next year during like Black History Month, I want to do some like comic book reviews about like doing some Naomi stuff, because she's pretty hot right now. Uh, because I haven't really, I only time I've seen Naomi anything is when I was reading some Justice League comics, and like she popped in for like a short event they had, and so uh, and I'm digging her from what little I saw of her. So during like the month of February, I'm gonna do like a comic book review for like Black Panther, Luke Cage, Naomi, and Static, and definitely gonna start like doing like a Static, TV show season review and movie review for Black Panther, and maybe like a TV show review. Yeah, not maybe, definitely, because there's only 2 seasons of Luke Cage that I figure I can easily get through and do a review for those for Black History Month. But yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, this is like the DC fandom is like doing gangbusters, and like this is kind of like a yearly event. Obviously, I hope they don't stop, but what I do hope they do moving forward next year and moving forward from there is that people will be only time we should be seeing people doing any kind of Zoom uh, calling in is when they're on set. Otherwise, if they're not on set anymore or whatever, or at least on not even just on set for like their superhero movies, but just on set in general for some other stuff they might be working on. Besides that, everybody should be in the same like actual dome or in like in rooms and stuff like that, because like I just want to see more people together, like sitting on the couch talking in like in interviews, just like in cons, and just like just bringing in like the same thing you see in like a San Diego Comic-Con, but just in a localized area just for DC stuff. And I want to see that moving forward, because like hopefully by next year more people are more vaccinated and stuff like that, and we can get this like pandemic finally behind us, and we don't have to worry about like all that crap anymore. If we just like be in a room together, we don't worry about the 6 feet apart crap anymore, and just just be in the same airspace and just have some fun. That's what I hope moving forward. And I really wish like Marvel has like a fandom. They should do something like that. But anyway, yeah. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow me on my Patreon, patreon.com/talkativecarl, if you want to further support the channel. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of DC Fandome, what you liked, what you disliked. What stuff are you more like anticipation, like what you're more psyched for above all else, because the games are probably like at the tippy top for me, but Matt Reeves' Batman are just like those are the primaries right now for me. But yeah, so I'll see you guys later. I'll have my Bedazzled Brandon Fraser movie coming up pretty soon. Look forward to that, to like wrap up my Renaissance movie for the week, because I already did like the first 2 Mummy movies. You can check out on the channel as well, about those, my movie reviews of those. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you guys later.